Mr. Gadrick. We have had a very, very successful week. Very, very good. We manufactured lots of Vincini face cream, and we have sold a lot of Vincini face cream. So, this evening I would like to invite you to take your young lady in the company, me and Judith. Judith is my fidanzato, and she and I are going to the movies tonight, and I would like to have you accompany me with your girl also. We will go and see a movie tonight, so please, Gadrick, come with us. Come with us. I'm buying. I will pay for all of our tickets. Come.
I live my life in the shade now. I've gone from the chance to the oh man, depression got me down. I'm the brokest man in town. I've gone from riches to rain. Doop, 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 doop-a-doo-doo. Doop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doop-doo-doo-doo. Doop-doo-doo. Doop-doo-doo-doo-doo. By the time you spare a dime, a nickel or a penny will be just fine. I've gone from riches to rags. I will my life in shade now. I've gone from riches to rags. Oh, man, depression got me down. I'm the brokest man in town. I've gone from riches to rags. Doop 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 a doo doo. Doop 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 doo doo. Doop 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 doop. By the time you spare a dime, a nickel or a penny will be just fine. I've gone from riches to rags.
Welcome to the exciting new game show, Blessings and Curses, where behind every curtain is either something really, really good or something really, really bad.
Tonight CRZY will present the new exciting blues pianist and vocalist from New Orleans, the artist known as Dechard Doe.
CRZY will be bringing you an incredible new series, Wicked War Tales. You will see the most devastating and catastrophic stories of all-out combat fury.
The actual retail price is
battles that shaped all of the many wars in the world. Smarter, faster, happier, better feeling, better looking. The answer to the joy you have been seeking all your life is in a little pill called Vincilax. Yes, that's right. The new Super Ultra Deluxe Laxative from Vincini Cosmetics. It will blow your innards out.
Makes limp hair look healthy again. All it takes is a minute from you. And a little kindness.
Ultra Deluxe Soda Pop from Drifties. That's right. Next time you get a drink at Drifties, don't just make it a double. Make it a double. And with the new Super Ultra Deluxe Burger, make it a double,
and as a result, your tender thighs are chafed. Whether you have been riding on a bicycle, a horse, a motorcycle or even driving a taxi cab, Uncle Crud Bucket's Basic Lime Thigh Cream will work wonders on your thighs. Oh yes it will. You guys will be The new art exhibit by the American artist Blatson, an exhibit entitled The Murgatroyd Serial Killer, opened to report.
I am glad that you arrived here safely, Batson. In spite of our past differences, I would very much like for you to be on your best behavior. I have as my guests already Judy Vincini, her son Eric, and his girlfriend Doreen. And I see you have a young lady with you, which I believe you told me on the phone is a former fashion model. Pleased to meet you. Enchanté. So, all of us will gather together in the main dining room for an elegant dinner. So, welcome. Welcome to Castle Pedestrian. Well, I would just simply like to propose a toast to everyone here at the dinner. First of all, to our gracious host, Count Pedestrian III. Your castle here is absolutely magnificent, Count. It dwarfs that mansion that you had me living in back in Murgatroyd before you changed your mind and, shall we say, evicted me. And my goodness, I had absolutely no idea, Sharon, that you and Judy Vincini already knew each other. I had no idea the two of you were acquainted. Such an interesting little mix here. And you, Eric, the Murgatroyd serial killer, you should be very grateful for my new art exhibit based on you. It's elevating you to historic and legendary stature. Now you won't just be some common serial killer. Why, you'll be worldwide famous. You should thank me for my glorious exhibit. It's going to immortalize your work, of which I've always been an admirer, by the way, as sordid and messy and grisly and grim as it is. Anyway, I propose a toast to our host, Count Pedestrian, so let us all raise our glasses and clink. Why, you sniveling little wimp, wannabe artist. My girlfriend here, Doreen, was not aware of my other career until you had to blurt your mouth out. And the bitch there in the red gloves, well, that's Sharon Cielo who kidnapped my mom. I'm afraid this little dinner may not turn out as pleasant for the two of you as you two may have expected. You see now, Blatson, you have to deal with me personally. And, dear Sharon, you have to deal with my mom. And my dear mom very definitely has a score to settle. Only out of respect for Count Pedestrian do I spare you right now, Blatson. I'd just as soon chop you to pieces right now with this huge butcher knife. But, seeing as how I don't see the two of you escaping me anytime soon, Mom, you can deal with your former kidnapper, Sharon. Well, I take care of Blatson. But in the interest of polite society and civilization and respect for Count Pedestrian, I suggest we all finish our dinner and our wine first. Then, Blatson, I'll give you a head start. This castle has many, many, many rooms, but I doubt you can run and hide from me forever. It's a big place, but I know every nook and cranny in it. Sharon, somehow I don't see you outrunning my mom either. So this could turn into a very interesting cat and mouse kind of game. As I say, as soon as the two of you are finished for dinner, I'll give you a head start. Oh, 30, 45 seconds at the very least. Let us remain civilized. There are rules to the game. It's very, very simple, actually. Blatson, you have fallen out of my favor, bandying my name about in such scandalous fashion back in Murgatroyd. I'm afraid you'll receive no protection from me. You're on your own against Eric. Blatson, you're a poseur, a wannabe. Eric, I only ask that you not bloody up my castle. Take Blatson somewhere else if you don't mind. And Judy, do what you will with your former kidnapper Sharon. Somehow I do not see killing as a sport in which you would take pleasure. A good beating, perhaps, or as there are many secret rooms here in the castle, you have my blessing and permission to hold Sharon as a prisoner here for whatever amount of time you please, just as she held you for a time.
Count Pedestrian, you are the very embodiment of evil. And this Murgatroyd serial killer here. Eric, I thought you were dead. I saw you get shot at that televised wedding and it was announced that you were dead.
My dear Sharon, the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. Huh. But if the world thinks I'm dead, who am I to argue? Beaucoup de monde. My dear sweet mom here, whom you held hostage, got Dr. Getrick to bring me back to life. Deal with it, Sharon, while my mom deals with you.
Count Pedestrian, it will indeed be my pleasure to put Sharon through what she put me through. Payback is a bitch with a capital B, only this time it is a capital V for Vincini. Hee hee ha ha hee hee ha ha ha. I remember seeing a documentary on television about this great castle. As I recall, there is a dungeon down below left over from the Middle Ages, complete with shackles and chains on the walls. I think that will be a most appropriate holding place for Sharon C.
Well, first of all, the two of you are way out of your league, Watson, Sharon. You're not part of the superior dominating race. It's Judy and I, we're the upper 1%ers. Both of you are quite disposable. You'll never even be able to aspire to have achieved. My father, Count Pedestrian II, collaborated with the Nazis because he recognized that he was superior. He recognized the superiority of our bloodline. That is why this great castle is adorned with fabulous art from all over Europe. In the interest of fairness, of course, I will give the two of you a head start, but I'm afraid, Blatson, you are quite definitely at Eric's mercy, and Sharon, I'm afraid you are at the mercy of Judy Vincini. So let us all finish off this last bottle of wine, and then let the games begin.
Well, Sharon C. Elo, it would seem that the tables have turned. While my son Eric is chasing Blatson down, as if that wannabe artist could possibly outrun my son, ha, ha, it looks like it's just you and me. The gloves are coming off. Only I'm not the one wearing gloves. but it will be my pleasure to yank those tacky red gloves off of you and slap your skinny arms into those shackles in the dungeon below. You see, my son Eric has already completely scoped out every inch of this castle, and of course he took me on a tour of the place along with his blind girlfriend. So I know exactly where I am going to chain you up and hold you prisoner for a while. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you, and you will likely be fed better than I was while I was being held by you in that damn warehouse. Yes, Sharon my dear, it is now your turn to be held prisoner.
Judy Vincini, please, please, I beg of you. Let me go. You are out of your mind. Let me go.
Well, I'm afraid your day has come, your day of reckoning, Blackson. Oh, you're going to be more famous in death than you ever were. I thought about hanging you in the Louvre as a work of art, but I so greatly Scott and the work of Sir Anthony Hopkins, the way that Inspector died, actually, so that I've decided to simply flash you up and then hang you from the Eiffel Tower. Yes, I'm afraid you're going to be a work of art. You're going to be hanging here from the Eiffel Tower. Goodbye, Bladson.
Au dernier étage de la Tour Eiffel.
The mutilated body of the American artist Bladson was found today hanging from the top floor of the Eiffel Tower. The following is a memorial tribute to the slain artist Bladson of Murgatroyd. It consists of footage originally aired by station CRZY during the past several years. The contents of this footage in one way reflects the positions or feelings of the owners and management of CRZ. It is simply a memorial tribute to the artist Bladson of Murgatroyd from our archives of CRZY aired footage.
Yes, it is. That wicked slut, Imogen Flakowski, hadn't so viciously attacked my precious little works of art, I wouldn't be sitting here exposing myself to you like I am now. Oh well, life plays some funny tricks sometimes. I turned a few funny tricks myself, oh yes I have. It's your favorite resident artist, Bladson the artist here, to tell you about my latest art exhibit. Yes, Flashy the Paper Doll is the subject of my show. She's so minimalist. She's so bare bones. She's the ultimate. I'll just let you good people of Murgatroyd figure out what that bodily fluid's going to be. Yes. The next one is going to be called Images of Imogene. And I'm sure she'll love that art exhibit. Oh, yes, she will. And that idiot Imogen Frykowski, who keeps trashing my art. Boy, have I got my revenge planned up for her. I'm sure you're familiar with another artist named Andres Serrano. Well, I'm going to find an old yearbook from back. Yes, I'm here putting together my new art exhibit, and it's called Images of Imogene. I should have eaten a lot more vitamins before I produced the liquid that your yearbook pictures immersed in. For your vile, disgusting, inane criticisms of my artwork. I've been fending for myself ever since Count Pedestrian kicked me out of his mansion. He went back to Europe because of Lieutenant Sitter's vile accusations.
And now the artist Blatson has made me the subject of his latest art exhibit. I feel so very, very honored. Oh. This is my very first time to visit an art exhibit, much less one that is based on me. Thank you, skateboarders. Thank you, Blatson.
Yes. My next show is going to be based on the Murgatroyd serial I've killer. Just simply taken images of the Murgatroyd serial killer, and done different artistic things with them that were just, oh God, I was inspired. This is going to be a smash hit. I just can't wait until we get to Europe and I unveil my pieces over there. So, little kitties, the big bad wolf was on his way to Grandma's house, but then he got lost in the woods and couldn't remember where the Grandma's house was. Kind of like you, Grandpa? Yes, that's right. I guess it's time for me to take another Vincini focus fix. Why, without it, I wouldn't remember where I am or who I am or even what any of your names are, little kitties. Now, let's see. Where was I? There we go. I just took a Vinci focus fix. Yes. So the big bad wolf kissed Sleeping Beauty, and she woke up and looked in the mirror and said, I'm the most beautiful there ever was. Oh, Grandpa.
Side effects include but are not limited to increased interest in antique furniture, redness and itching of the neck, loss of use of the left hand, blurred vision during daylight hours, chattering teeth, swelling of the inner thighs, extended bouts of constipation followed by sudden diarrhea, wild erratic mood swings. Persons under 45 should not take more than one Vinci Focus Fix tablet per hour. Persons over 90 should take only one Focus Fix.
Whether or not you believe in the weather or not, the eyes have it. Yes, at CRZY roving weather helicopter, we're watching for when the weather or not. And the eyes have it. Yes, the eyes of our weather watchers are always watching. So you tune in to CRZY TV
right here
or
on
CRZY Radio for the latest weather update.
With cheese. Lionel Sternberger is reputed to have introduced the cheeseburger in 1926 at the age of 16 when he was working as a fry cook at his father's Pasadena, California sandwich shop, The Right Spot, and experimentally dropped a slab of American cheese on a sizzling hamburger.
Dr. Lawrence Kedrick. May the 1st, 1931. Well, I have been here in the 1930s for 3 weeks now. Landed a job with Vincent Vincini as he is starting up the cosmetic company that will one day become an economic corporate empire. It is so interesting knowing the future, knowing what lies ahead. The temptation to change past events is so very, very real, but I know I must not interfere with the natural flow of events this far back in time. I could alter the future in so many, many untold ways. Hitler could be stopped and World War II prevented. But no one can never be sure of the unforeseen ripple effects of such actions, so it is best not to attempt them. It is so tempting for me to tell Vincent that he will one day father a daughter, Judy, who will become CEO of his company in the future. But I must keep quiet and allow things to progress in their own natural way at their own natural rate. One thing that I can do is document the period, as I will attempt to do with this journal and as I will begin to do by taking photographs. I will save up enough money to buy a camera and I will begin to create a scrapbook of pictures that I will one day share with the world. I still have no way of knowing how long I will be here, but for 3 weeks now there has been no signs of the energy-time flux field reappearing in the woods between Murgatroyd and Flat Town. I can only hope that back in my own time period of 2016 that nothing has gone wrong with either the energy-time flux device nor with Dr. Jekyll and Rebe Summer herself, who is the only one there at the lab monitoring it since Dr. Derrickson suffered a heart attack from which he is hopefully recuperating. So I must make the best of this decade in which I find myself living for who knows how long.
Uncle Frank, now you know I'm not the jealous type, but you've been spending an awful lot of time out there in the backyard with them legs of flashy. And you didn't know it the other day, but I looked out the kitchen window and I seen you been over. And your hips was just gyrating back and forth, but I noticed them old legs only grew up to the waist, so I hope you got a good explanation for yourself, Uncle Frank. I'd hate to think you've been cheating on me with a pair of paper doll legs out there in the backyard. Hope them legs don't grow into a full-size flashy. I'd hate see what you might do then. Anyhow, I'm watching you. You just remember that, Uncle Frank. I'm watching you. That's it. You got it?
No, I ain't spooky. We've been married for 50 years. I can't believe you'd be jealous of a dadgum paper doll. And by the way, it ain't just legs out there now. You was right. She done growed into a full-size flashy. I don't know what we're going to do with her. She started talking up a storm last night, and I said, well, you're free to go and leave anytime you want to. I don't know what paper dolls eat, but we ain't got anything here around the house for you. And of course, the cat and the dog ain't paying no attention to her, and the chickens are scared of her, and I imagine she'll just wander off back to biotech lab. And to begin with, she seemed to remember who she was. She said, I'm Flashy the paper doll, and this and that and all, and I just turned around and came back in the house, you know. There wasn't nothing else I could do. I ain't trying to fool with that old biotech lab, you know, after the other day when I went down there and they're surrounded by the feds and everything else. So I'm just hoping the neighbors don't see her out there in the backyard. I'm hoping she just takes off and wanders off, and I expect that's that's what's going to happen, you know. So don't get upset, Suki, and get over your little jealousy bit. All right? Thank you.
Oh my. I can honestly say that I am certain. I can honestly say that I am certain. Well, I am certain that I have only regained part of my memory. It just seems like I should remember so much more than just waking up in Uncle Frank's backyard. It seems as if I have a past. I know that I am drawn to the biotech lab, but I do not know how or why. I only know that I must go there. And I have memories of a wooden creature. Warm memories that would indicate that I have some kind of relationship with this wooden creature. I can also vaguely recall the image of a man, a Dr. Getrick, but I do not know what he is to me or what he means to me. Perhaps if I manage to get to the biotech lab, all of my questions will be answered. I only hope that I can regain at least some of my memory. Hopefully all of my memory will come back at some point. But for now, off into the backwoods here along the creek and onward until I reach the biotech somehow lab. Try to remember how long I have been away from the biotech lab and how I ended up in Uncle Frank's backyard. I also have memories of a skateboarder. I think that his name, I am certain of it now. The skateboarder's name was definitely Timmy. And he came along after something very bad happened to me. I seem to have repressed the memory of whatever it was that happened to me. I simply cannot remember it.
Last week's session, you were telling me about leaving the band, Emaciated Butterfly. This week, I'd like for you to tell me more about your inferiority complex, as you call it, and about what you did after you left the band, Emaciated Butterfly. Tell me about the different jobs and activities you engaged in afterwards. Well, Doc, I went from one place to the other, I worked at just one apartment complex as another as a maintenance man, The managers always just sit on the phone and talk all the time, chit-chat and small talk, chit-chat, small talk. And one manager had me pull 200 toilet seats out, and she got upset and angry because I took one of them home. One of the other assistant maintenance men counted all of them, and one of the toilet seats was missing, and so I got written up for that. And then she'd always say, chop, chop, Floyd, chop, chop, Floyd. And she was just constantly criticizing my work. I'd go and I'd do a make-ready, and, I'd spend hours getting the apartment ready for people to move in, and she'd come and find one tiny spot of dust in some obscure corner, or maybe she'd find one small light switch that was just, she didn't think it was the way she wanted it to be. And I was a master painter, always been a master painter, and she'd hire these people who can't even paint, people who don't even know how to paint, and she'd put them in some apartment, and then I'd have to go and do twice as much work cleaning up after them, always. And then when I would take the lunch, I was under always pressure to get back. Never had enough time for my lunch hour. Everywhere I would go, they dump salt into my food. They see me coming, they dump salt in the food. Every time I order a salad, it's nothing but lettuce, lettuce, lettuce. You know, half the time I go into a restaurant and the food they serve me is cold. One time I ordered a hamburger. It had 3 pounds of meat, and the bun was the size of a biscuit. I mean, how am I supposed to eat that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I've gotten sick 12 different times in the past 2 years, and some overpriced fast food restaurant. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I can't even eat out anymore. You know, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And then I had this rent house, you know, I rented to this couple, and they just trashed and tore the place up and moved out owing me $3,000 rent, you know, late charge this, late charge that. They tore up the commode. What can I say? Left a mess. It left complete and total mess, you know. Nobody knows how to do anything anymore. I can't find anybody that can work for me that can do anything. I end up having to waste my time showing and teaching them how to do a job. You know, I could have done the job myself faster and gotten it done perfectly straight the first time without having to train somebody else. And where I worked at an auto parts store, you know, I take 30 seconds to sit down and catch my breath, and then he comes in and says, "Get your lazy butt up and start working again." I mean, I never even get a 30-second break. You know, criticized all the time. You know, the wife walks in the lobby, takes one look at me and says, "What is he, some kind of a child molester?" I mean, I swear to God, that's what the man's wife says right there in front of the public, you know. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Every girlfriend takes me to the cleaners. You know, there's the one girlfriend, she's a gambling addict, you know. She bought $3,000 worth of scratch-offs and lost all of it. Of course, it was my money that paid for the scratch-offs. She can go to the Sonic and order a double cheeseburger. She'd take all the meat off the double cheeseburger and feed it to her poodle, you know? Come on. I mean, that's the kind of girlfriends I end up with. Had another lazy girl, laid on the couch all the time, wouldn't even get up off the couch long enough to wash dishes, long enough to take a shower, long enough to clean up, long enough to do anything. Yet she wanted me to put gas in her car, buy her cigarettes. But then she wouldn't give me any. You know, here I am, I'm supposed to provide her a couch to sleep on, free meals every day, gas for the car, cigarettes, and then she won't even put out. I mean, come on, where do they make these girls? Where do they come from? Anyway, it's my life. It's my life. It's my life, Doc. It's my life. Help me. Help me. It's my life.
This is Murgatroyd television station CRZY, bringing you the latest in news, weather, and excellent programming in the greater Murgatroyd Flat Town.
News Bulletin. Breaking News Bulletin. This is Hugh Millison here at CRZY News, and we are about to take you to a press conference at the Murgatroyd police station in which Lieutenant Skidders is about to make an announcement concerning the recent mutilation murder of the artist Blatson in Paris.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lieutenant Skidders of the Murgatroyd Homicide Division, and I'm here to make several announcements today, several important key elements involved in the recent mutilation slaying of Blatson in Paris, France. First of all, this is going to come as a shock to most everyone here, and I wouldn't believe it myself had I not seen the physical evidence and the information from Interpol, and had I not analyzed the videos myself and looked at the computer analysis. The DNA findings at the crime scene of Blatson's murder positively identify the killer as none other than Eric Niedermeyer, also known as the Murgatroyd serial killer. Now, as all of you know, I was present at the wedding of Les Tomac and Imogene Slakowski, and I saw the Murgatroyd killer, Eric, shot by a sniper. That assailant still remains unapprehended. I personally identified the body of Eric Niedermeyer, and I can tell you he was very definitely clinically dead. So I'm at a loss to give any explanation other than to tell you that the suspect in Paris, France, who is at large, has been positively identified as Eric Biedermeier. So, in fact, Eric Biedermeier somehow is still alive. Now, other evidence that has been gathered from the recent warehouse scene where Judy Vincini was held hostage has also developed a person of interest, a former Murgatroyd fashion model by the name of Sharon Cielo. Videos at a small private airport video surveillance shows her in the company of Blackson leaving on a private jet to Europe. Well, we have not established the whereabouts of Sharon Cielo, but she apparently did travel to Europe recently with Blackson. Blackson, of course, now has been murdered, and we do not know the whereabouts of this person of interest in the Vincini kidnapping, this person, former fashion model Sharon Cielo. That is the information that I have. I will be leaving to fly to Paris, France now. I'm sorry, no questions. That is all the information I have at this time. Oh, my gosh. I paid $1 million to hitmen to have this Murgatroyd serial killer shot. But he's not dead. He's still alive and in Europe. There are certain things a man must take care of himself. I should have taken care of him myself. My dear daughter's honor must be avenged. I shall fly to Europe, and I shall take care of the Murgatroyd serial killer once and for all. I will put an end to his vile, vile existence.
Well, my. That was quite a walk down the creek and through the woods, but it looks as if I have finally arrived at the biotech lab. But what are all these vehicles and people doing here? Why are they surrounding the place and why are they here? I do not recognize any of them. Oh no. It looks as if they have certainly noticed me. And they are moving towards me? Oh boy,
Paper
oh
doll.
boy.
Stop right there. Do not move any further. You are being taken into custody by federal authorities. You will be taken to Washington, D.C., where you will held in protective detention to appear before the Senate Committee into the Time Flux Energy device. Your fate will be determined by the committee. As you are not human, you are not protected by any constitutional rights. You will accompany me and these other agents at once. We are now placing you in a protective shatterproof glass security container for your safe transfer.
Yes, this is Esserman in upper management at the Vincini Cosmetics Corporation. No, I am very sorry, Lieutenant Skitters. We have not seen or heard from our CEO Judy Vincini since the kidnapping.
You can check with the security division and the travel division to see if they have seen or heard from her. Hold, please, while I
Lieutenant
transfer
Skitters,
you.
this is Davis over in security. No, we haven't heard a word from the CEO Judy Vancini in a few weeks. Sorry I couldn't help you.
Much as I dislike the man and much as he despises me, I don't have a choice. Gotta fly to France and go to the castle of Count Pedestrian and interview him personally. Also, while I'm over there, I can get Interpol to help attempt to locate this Sharon Cielo.
Well, Count Pedestrian, I have enjoyed being your guest, but now I am afraid that I am going to have to fly back to Murgatroyd to stabilize things at Vincini. A sermon in upper management called me, and then Davis in security, and it seems Lieutenant Skitters is asking about me. And as you probably know, neither the press nor the police know that I escaped my kidnapper. I would kindly ask you to please allow my son Eric and his girlfriend Doreen to remain here in Europe, although I will understand if you place them in one of your other castles after the international news sensation that has been created by the murder of Blatson. I can stall and delay and divert Lieutenant Skitters while you secure a place for Eric and Doreen. I know how to handle guys like him. I wouldn't be a good CEO if I didn't. I have already explained things to Eric and Doreen. Eric is not thrilled to see me leaving, but he understands why he obviously cannot come back. I am sure you will see that my prisoner Sharon, down below in the dungeon, is well fed. It is my intention to release her, of course, once I return from this trip to Murgatroyd. I simply wanted to give her a taste of what she put me through. At any rate, I again want to thank you for your hospitality and having me, Eric, and Doreen as your guests.
Well, Doreen, my dear blind girlfriend, it would seem that dear Mom is once again abandoning me, flying back to Murgatroyd to deal with Lieutenant Skitters and with the Vincini Corporation. Of course, always business first, of course. At any rate, she left me plenty of euros, couple of credit cards that only trace to some Vincini employees. So we should do fine, Doreen. I'm certain that Count Pedestrian will place us in another castle in another location, and it's just as well. Things will get extremely hot around here after the death of Blatson the artist. Well, that's all I have to say for now, Doreen. Thought I'd fill you in on the situation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, viewers on TV, members of the studio audience here, I want to welcome you to a more somber type episode of the Les Tomac Show. Today, of course, in the wake of the sudden tragic mutilation, slaying death of Blatson, the artist from Murgatroyd, we're having a tribute show to Blatson, in which we're going to have people who knew and were personally acquainted with Blatson come on the show and talk about the artist Blatson, of course, reminisce about Blatson. But first of all, we've got the man, Emaciated Butterfly, back. And although the band member Floyd, who left them many years ago, refused to appear, and of course Blatson, who was a member of Emaciated Butterfly, can no longer, obviously, appear with Emaciated Butterfly. The remaining members of the Emaciated Butterfly band are here to sing One from the Vaults, a tribute song that was done after JFK was slain, and it was called Oh No, Jackie O. But in keeping with the somber, mournful tenor of the times with the tragic slaying of Blatson, I now present to you, ladies and gentlemen, Emaciated Butterfly with Oh No, Jackie O.
Oh no, no, Jackie O. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, Jackie. It landed in Dallas at an airport love field. It was sunny in November, and the air had a slight chill. She wore a pink dress and red roses in her arms. The motorcade left for downtown Dallas. They were headed for home. Oh no, 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 Jackie O. Oh no, no, Jackie O. Oh no, Jackie O. Oh no, 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 Jackie O. And at Ely Plaza, 3 rifle shots rang out. The last one was a headshot. Jackie scrambled to get out. Secret Service pushed her back into the car at that point. And they sped onward to Parkland. It wasn't very far. No, Jackie O. Oh no, no, Jackie O. No, Jackie O. No, 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 Jackie O.
Well, welcome back to this very somber, very special memorial tribute Les Tomac show to Blatson, the slain artist, Murgatroyd's own artist, Blatson. He was killed, it has been discovered, and Lieutenant Skidders and the French police recently revealed that the identity of the killer of Blatson in Paris, France, is none other than the Murgatroyd serial killer, shocking as that may be. And as all of you know, and it was covered extensively here, not only just by me, Les Tomac, but one of my colleagues at CRZY, Hugh Millitson, covered the story, and even my own wife, Imogene, who was taunted by the Murgatroyd serial killer. We've covered extensively over the past years. There are more than 22 victims, and he was believed to have been slain at my own wedding. He was shot by a sniper, and Lieutenant Skidders identified Eric Niedermeyer there as dead. But apparently somehow he either survived or was brought back to life, or we don't know the answer to that. But in fact, Blatson was killed by the Murgatroyd serial killer in Paris, France. But anyway, today's show is going to be concentrating on the artist Blatson in this memorial tribute, and we're having guests on who knew him personally. And as you may recall, the art critic Les Champs knew and was acquainted with Blatson and has been on our show before. Later on, I may show a clip from his previous appearance. But anyway, Les Champs is here today, so we want to welcome Les Champs, the young prodigy art critic from France. Later on, we will be having the lead singer, Wiggle Wrongley, of Emaciated Butterfly, who as you know, was very close to Blatson for many years while Blatson was with the Emaciated Butterfly Band. But first, les chants. C'est une tragédie, triste tragédie. C'est dommage, c'est trop mal. Les montes de Blasson, triste tragédie de le monde de art, de l'art. What can one say? It's tragic, it's sad. It's, all of France is reeling with this shocking death, as I'm sure everyone in Murgatroyd here, last I know you personally, were touched by Blackson's death as well. It's tragic all the way around.